Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have a top 10 video for you guys on the new DLC on GTA Online, The Contract. I haven't done a top 10 in some time, and so on this video we're going to be looking at the top 10 tips and tricks that a lot of players don't know about. And these are things specifically that are in the game that the update a lot of times does not do a good job of explaining these. A lot of these things in the game, the update doesn't explain that they're actually in the game. And there's some of them are very helpful. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Top 10 tips and tricks that a lot of players didn't know about. Let's get started. Now, if you go down to the lobby, right in agency location, and you talk to the secretary on your right, you'll see a few options. Exit via helicopter, which is a civilian helicopter, no weaponized vehicles that you can exit with. You have exit via personal vehicle, where you can take your personal car, or the SUV service. Now, the SUV service will fast travel you for free to the location of your choice. It has to be one of the options here, though. There are options from Grapeseed to LSIA, to Paleto Bay, to Sandy Shore. So there's a few locations that it can take you to. It can take you a good chunk across the map, and chances are, wherever you need to go, you can fast travel to a point really close to that. However, though, there is an unfortunate thing that pisses me off with this feature, and I really hope Rockstar changes this, which is why I'm mentioning this. When you start up a contract, though, the contract location does not appear on your map until you exit the location. It should appear right when you do it on the computer. And the reason for that is because then you can use the service to fast travel there, which will actually give it more of a purpose. The problem is when you start the contract and then you get out of the agency, you can't go back in. So then kind of defeats the purpose of the fast travel. So the fast travel should really be changed in this regard. If you have a person inside your CEO or MC and they're outside, they can tell you where the thing spawns and then you can fast travel there like I did in this case, but then it defeats the purpose because your friend can't come with you. So this really should be changed. If you want to fast travel back to the agency location, there unfortunately isn't a way with this update. There is an SUV service that you can call Franklin for, but it's basically just like a taxi. You just get in, you can't fast travel, and they can just drive you there or to wherever you pinpoint on the map. If you want to get back to agency location really quickly, what I would recommend doing is to go into your options and set your spawn location as agency. And then when you want to go back, you can just find a new lobby, and the new lobby, it will take you back in the agency location. I can understand people wouldn't want to do this if they have a full MC or CEO, because then everybody has to change lobbies. But if there's another way that you want to get back to the agency without leaving the lobby, you can always start up a CEO. You go to CEO abilities, and you request luxury helicopter. Yes, it is $5,000, but it will take you back to the city. Not to the agency location, but it will take you back to your office, or a warehouse of your choice if you have warehouses there. So it will take you either back to the office, or CEO crate warehouse locations. Not the agency office, the CEO office. But that's another way to fast travel back. I just thought I'd include this in here since we're talking about fast travel. Next at number 9, we have trade prices on the new vehicles. So this new update has included 7 new vehicles, and out of those 7 new vehicles, 4 of them have trade prices. Trade prices are discounts that you get on the vehicles when you complete a certain objective. So let's start off with the Buffalo STX. This vehicle has the easiest discount to get. All you basically have to do is just purchase the agency. It goes from $2,150,000 to $1,612,500. Now another vehicle we got is the Enos Deity, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This vehicle goes from $1,845,000 to $1,383,750. And all you gotta do, just complete 10 security contracts. Easy. You get money for completing those contracts. I'm assuming you have to be the host. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the description just said complete 10 security contracts and you get it. So complete those contracts, you get free money, and on top of that, you also get the vehicle discount. Now, another vehicle is Dubachi Champion. Now, this vehicle, the trade price, the original price is $2,995,000, but it goes down to $2,246,250. A huge discount. And all you gotta do to get the trade price is just complete the Dr. Dre story mission, the studio time, as the leader. So you have to be the leader on this. It has to be your mission. This is the second to last mission for the Dr. Dre missions, and when you complete the Dr. Dre storyline, you get $1 million anyways. So get money for completing the mission, and on top of that, get a massive discount. And the last vehicle is the Enos Jubilee, and its price originally is $1,650,000, but you get the trade price of $1,237,500 for completing 20 contracts. So just complete those contracts, you get a bunch of money, and you get discounts in these vehicles. I put all 4 of them up on the screen right here, so if you just want to see the trade prices on them, you can just screenshot this. Otherwise, all you basically got to do is just click on the vehicles, and if you still didn't unlock the trade price, it should show you up. If you already unlocked the trade price will then become the standard price. But these are good discounts you can get on vehicles, and a lot of people, they always ignore the trade prices for some reason, when you can complete the activities in the update, and you can unlock good discounts on the vehicles at the same time. Moving on to number 8, we have Record A Studios. Now, Record A Studios, this is Dr. Dre's studio, and you unlock this place once you complete the mission studio time in the Dr. Dre storyline. And it'll appear as an icon on your map. It's a location that you can visit. You can go and explore the studio. Now, once you're inside the studio, there is actually a clothing rack that you can actually choose all the different contract clothing on here. And the difference between the regular clothing store and this area right here is that all of the DLC clothes are right here. This saves you the time of having to scroll through all the extra clothes in the clothing store. You can pick out the specific DLC clothing that you want right here. You can look at all the new clothing. Additionally, you can also get a text message from Franklin. The text messages will appear just like this. And what happens is when you go over there, you will see Dr. Dre performing, and you will also see other characters from the storyline, other famous people that he talks to. And there's, I believe, like 15 minutes of cutscene footage here, because there's a challenge for to watch Dr. Dre perform, record, and it's 15 out of 15 here. So I'm assuming that the award counts 15 minutes. But this has like no missions. There is no story here. Just watch cutscenes of Dr. Dre. So if you like Dr. Dre and like listening to his music and stuff like that, you'll definitely enjoy this. It's a lot of fun and a really unique side activity that they added right here. At number 7, I wanted to mention the Franklin and Lamar storyline. I know that most people probably know about this, but I thought that I'd mention this in here because there probably are some people that haven't realized you can do it yet, but you can actually play as Franklin and Lamar in this DLC, and there actually is a DLC storyline. There's 3 missions in total, and they're actually a lot of fun, and some people actually say these missions are the best part of the DLC. But anyways, in order to start up the Franklin and Lamar missions, you need to complete the Dr. Dre storyline, then you will get a call from Franklin. You will see a yellow F at the same record studio that I just mentioned before. You go on over there, and then you will go into the smoke room, and then it will trigger a whole cutscene, and then you just invite a friend over, and you just play the missions. Now, when you want to return for the second mission, you go back in the studio, you go back to the smoke room where there's this weed symbol, you sit down, you smoke the special weed, and then afterwards, you'll be connected right into the lobby, and you can play the entire storyline. I highly recommend you play it, especially if you like the single player. Great, awesome storyline. Moving on to number 6, we have the USB media sticks. Now, the USB media sticks, these are the brand new collectibles in the Contract DLC, and what I appreciate about these collectibles is that these are not in complicated locations, and there's not too many. I just can't stand it in games when there's a ridiculous amount of collectibles, and they're in pretty annoying locations. But anyways, let me get to the point. The USB media sticks unlock exclusive new songs from Dr. Dre and Nez that you can play in the media player when you go into your settings. Now, let me show you guys the locations for these. The first one is right here at the Record A Studios. It's pretty simple location, just right on the roof. So to get up on the roof, you could try to land a helicopter up there, but there's barely anywhere to land. It's kind of annoying. Just go into the front lobby, and you can either run down to this hallway at the end of the door and go up on the roof, but then I realized that right at the front door, you can go up right up to the roof. So just go, turn around after you enter through the building, go right out, right to the front door again, and enter on the roof. And then when you're on the roof, it's on this bar table right here. You pick it up. There you go. Second USB media stick is at Franklin's house. It's at Franklin's house. It's right on this table here, this round table. You just go up to it, showing you guys right here on the map. You get it? That's that. The third and final media stick, this one you don't unlock until you complete the Dr. Dre storyline. Once you complete the Dr. Dre storyline, you will get a text message from Franklin, and then it will appear on your desk. Just note there's a little bit of a glitch that can happen sometimes because you will try to pick up the media stick. It's the same button to sit down at your computer, and my game kind of glitched out here, but I was fine for the most part. I still got the stick. Next at number 5, we have Call Franklin for contract jobs. Now, this made me feel so stupid because the first day that this DLC came out, I spent the entire day constantly running back to my office, and then I realized that you can actually call Franklin and request a contract job. Now, the thing is, though, even though you can call Franklin and request a contract job, if you want to do contracts really quickly, you're in the middle of nowhere, you don't feel like going back to the agency, this is a perfect way to start up the next one. However, though, just note that this will give you a random contract, and there's 2 downsides to this. The first one is you obviously don't get the mission type that you want. You can get a really bad mission. And the second one is the pay isn't always going to be the best one. When you're at the agency computer, you can actually select which mission you want and you can look at the pay. And sometimes you have specialist missions. With specialist missions, those pay you out much better. So there is still a purpose to going back to the agency and picking the specific mission there. But if you're stranded in the open and you don't feel like going back to the agency, great way to start up another contract here. Number 4 is Payphone Hits, and these are some of the best missions in this DLC, and I think these are the best free mode missions. The missions that you can start up in free mode in all of GT Online, I think these are personally the best, and these are such a great addition. But anyways, Payphone missions are these new missions that you unlock in the Contract DLC. Now, Franklin will call you and he'll tell you to find a payphone, which I believe that to start up the first mission, you need to find a payphone. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But then afterwards, I realized you can actually call Franklin for it, which that kind of really annoyed me because I was driving around trying to find payphones, and then I realized you can also call Franklin to start up payphone contracts, just like you could with the regular contract missions. So Payphone Hits, these are missions where you go up to the payphone, there's a little bit of a cutscene, Franklin will tell you the backstory, what's going on, why the target, why they want the target dead, who's usually paying them, and then the thing is, instead of like a generic mission where you go over and you just kill the target and you get paid for it, there is specific bonuses, and the bonus is a lot of money. Up to $70,000. Regular pay is $15,000, so you can get around $85,000 per mission if you complete specific bonus objectives. And these include killing all the targets with a headshot, killing all the targets at once, using a specific gun like an SMG to kill all the targets. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different objectives to kill these targets, and some of them can be really hard, and you have to really work together with your team in order to complete them. Like, for instance, in this one, this objective was to kill all the targets right when they get up to the location. Now, a lot of people, they'll just rush in, they'll just kill all the targets, and that's that. But because we waited, we killed the targets right when they got here, we got an extra 70 grand. So these are awesome missions. Try out the payphone missions, call up Franklin. You can also find the payphones in the world, and these don't affect the contract time. There is a big cooldown on them, but you can do a contract and then do a payphone mission, and then hopefully by the time you finish a bunch of contracts, another payphone mission will be ready for you. Next at number 3, we have the Missile Lock-On Jammer. Now this is a great addition to this update, and when you buy an agency, make sure you get the Auto Shop Garage and you customize the new vehicles in this. Unfortunately, only four vehicles from the DLC have this ability, and I hope that over time, eventually all of the vehicles have this. Not the militarized vehicle, weaponized vehicles, but any civilian vehicle that does not have weapons should be able to have this missile lock-on feature in the future, or anti-lock-on feature, I should say. So the 4 vehicles that have it are the Buffalo STX, the Dubachi Champion, the Enos Deity, and the Enos Jubilee. It's the exact same vehicles that are the trade price. I put a picture on the screen right here, and I put the vehicles that have this ability with the green check mark. So whatever vehicles you don't see with the green check mark don't have it. So just take a screenshot of this. It's also for the remote control option, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. So this new feature for those 4 vehicles, you go to the Auto Shop Garage, you put it on for $380,000. It's under Imani Tech. And what this basically does is your vehicle that you put it on can no longer be locked onto. This goes for homing launchers, helicopter lock-ons, jet lock-ons, and notoriously, the Oppressor Mark II. That's right, the Oppressor Mark II cannot lock onto you if your vehicle has this feature. I want to thank my friend Carlos right here for also helping me to record this, and I will link my friend's channel down below, so make sure you guys check him out. But anyways, you guys see right here, he gets into a civilian car, I can lock onto him. He gets back into his Buffalo STX, I can't lock onto him at this point. And this is going to help tremendously, because most of the Oppressor Mark II griefers in this game, they can't aim for crap without their lock-ons on their Oppressor Mark IIs. They can still blow you up, don't get me wrong, but they actually have to manually aim. And since a lot of them can't manually aim, they struggle with that, they rely on their stupid lock-ons, this is going to piss off a lot of Oppressor Mark II griefers. So pick one of those 4 vehicles from the DLC. Make it your go-to vehicle when you gotta drive around. When you're not using the Oppressor Mark II or an air vehicle, when you're just using a car, pick one of those as your go-to vehicle and equip it and drive around. And you will have a lot less Oppressor Mark IIs trying to blow you up. If they do try to blow you up, you have plenty of time at that point to drive underground, take cover somewhere, because you don't have to worry about their stupid lock-ons. Next at number 2, we have the remote control unit. Now this is the other Imani Tech. When you go for those 4 vehicles, you choose it, it's $223,000. And again, I'm going to show this picture one more time here. Screenshot this picture if you need to for people that missed it before. The vehicles that have the green check mark are the vehicles that have the anti-lock-on feature and also the remote control unit. So these are the 4 vehicles that can have it. But anyways, the remote control unit, this is a very unique feature in which when you put it into a car, you can go into your settings and you go to remote control vehicles and you go to RC personal vehicle. And you can now command that vehicle. You can only drive it in first person, probably for obvious reasons. But you have a detonator in here, which a detonator doesn't really do much. You could blow somebody up with it, but the explosion is not that significant. There's plenty of time for somebody to get out of the way. You can drop mines with this vehicle, and you can drive this vehicle pretty much at full speed and wherever you want. And this vehicle, this is most likely, this whole feature, is a reference to the mission Taking the Peace in GTA Liberty City Stories. In GTA Liberty City Stories, there's actually a mission where you actually had the first remote control actual car in a GTA game before the RC vehicles.
Okay, Sal, I'm in the van.
Good. We messed around with Paulie Sindaco's car.
So what do you want me to do?
Paulie's going to a meet with the Forellis. He's gonna try to broker a truce. Use the gear in the van to take control of Paulie's car and mess up the meet.
And that was where Paulie Sindaco was going to a meeting with the Forelli family. And what happened was the Leones had put a device in his car where they could control it. Tony Cipriani then takes control of the car, ruins the meeting, and makes Paulie Sindaco's car run over all of the Forellis, igniting a war between the two families. So I just wanted to let you guys know on that little Easter egg is probably a reference to that. I will also have that mission linked down below in my playthrough of Liberty City Stories if you want to check out that specific mission. But anyways, about the remote control unit, when somebody is driving the remote control vehicle, they do not appear on the radar. They're not on the radar, and this has no range. You can go all the way across the map. I drove all the way to Paleto Bay, so no range on this thing. Doesn't appear on the radar. And when you run somebody over with this, it'll count as a kill. And you can use the machine guns on certain vehicles like the Buffalo STX because it can be equipped with machine guns, but the machine guns aren't really going to be effective at killing players, and I could see players using this to grief because it doesn't appear on the radar, and they could just drive up to you and try to run you over. However, though, there is a counter to this. If somebody tries to run you over, like I was testing it against my friend Carlos here, I told him to try to take me down, just use the compact EMP launcher. As terrible as the EMP launcher is, I know it's not that great of a weapon. One useful thing is it's really great for this. If somebody's trying to kill you with their remote control vehicle, use the EMP launcher on it, because then they can't run you over. The vehicle is stalled for a few seconds, and then you have plenty of time to pull out a few rockets and blow up that vehicle. Now the question is, which attachment should you have? Should you have the anti-lock on or the remote control? All up to personal preference. I could see where the remote control could be useful, like if the car spawns farther away, you could use it to drive up to you, but unfortunately you can't use this in missions. I tried doing this in payphone missions. I tried doing this for contracts. You cannot use this feature in missions, which is just a real buzzkill. So I think probably the lock-on feature, have that in the majority of your vehicles, but have the remote control feature on just at least one car, just so that, you know, when you're stranded in the middle of nowhere, you spawn a car, it's kind of far away, you can always use this feature just to drive the car towards you and just have it pick you up. That's a nice feature there. Also, guys, one final thing with this, you have to choose between one of the gadgets. So when you buy the lock-on feature and then you buy the remote control unit, you have to constantly swap between the two. So you can't swap for free, you have to buy it again. So make sure that whatever vehicle you buy it for, that's that default vehicle that has it, because then you're wasting a lot of money. I've been ranting about this for years, where you have to change attachments on a vehicle, but for some reason, Rockstar still does not change this. And the number one tip that I'd like to talk about in this update is the new out of sight ability. Now, this is where you have to phone Imani for this. So go to your contacts and you call up Imani. Now, out of sight costs $12,000. This is a new ability that I didn't even realize was really in the game. My friend Raven Cookie was the one who told me about this. I'd like to give him credit. He's helping me out right here also with this. But basically what happened was I was getting griefed by people when I was doing my Dr. Dre missions in between them, and what happened was I started activating Ghost Organization. He told me no, use Out of Sight. So Out of Sight is this new ability. You call up Imani for it. It's $12,000, and what this does is right in the center of where you call her, this will create a 500-meter radius. And in that 500-meter radius, the griefers can no longer see you on the radar. They can't. You can use all the abilities. You can do a mission, I'm assuming, if you're doing it. You can drive around, do whatever in that 500-meter radius. The unfortunate thing, what sucks about this, is that once you leave the 500-meter radius, you are spotted again. Now, I know some people are going to worry that griefers are going to abuse this. However, though, if somebody starts shooting at you and they damage you, they instantly pop back up on the radar. Like, take a look at my friend right here. He was using Out of Sight, and he shot me as a test right here. He appears right back on the radar. What's unfortunate is that if they're shooting your car, it doesn't count. They actually have to damage you itself. So there is that, but they can only be in that 500-meter radius. But the reason I wanted to talk about this as number one is because I think this can be greatly improved. You know, I would like to see something like a parlay system like in Red Dead Online, where if somebody kills you, you parlay them, and then you can do all the activities in the game. They can't kill you for 10 minutes. But I think this could use some more improvements because, for one, so if you're out of sight and somebody that's trying to kill you gets on the orbital cannon, they can still find you, even if you're out of sight, which really, really sucks. Out of sight does not hide cargo either. So if you're doing a delivery mission, if you're driving a vehicle and you use out of sight will not hide that. So, you know, you'd think that this would be useful to hide, you know, your cargo. If somebody's coming after you, you can use out of sight, drive into like an alley or hide somewhere, wait until the griefers leave, and then wait till Ghost Organization comes back and then use it. That would make it really much more useful. So I really hope they add a feature like that in. But that's kind of stupid how the person is not up here on the map, but their cargo still does. Ghost Organization does hide your cargo as well as you. So I really, really think that they should add that as a feature in this game where it should hide cargo. People should be able to wait in that area until Ghost Organization comes back and then be able to use it. Also, out of sight should not be detected by the orbital cannon. The orbital cannon should not be able to find you there. So that's that pretty much for this list. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know some people are surprised to see out of sight as number one, but I wanted to mention it as number one because I think this feature can greatly be improved to try to counter the griefing problem that is on GTA Online. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.